Hey guys, and Robert and Bianca here again as we are continuing our Ape Marathon. Maybe even closing it out because we haven't talked about doing the reboot prequel trilogy yet, but we are going to be talking about Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
Mmm, what fun.
Ugh. I say there's some to like and a lot to hate.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of good things about this movie. It was just, it didn't hit.
hmm And Well, so basically, it's the year 2029. So 7 years from now, huh?
Yeah, I was like, shoot, 2029? Dang, we still won't have this technology.
Agreed. But here, though, we are introduced to, well, I'll just say Marky Mark, because Captain Leo, it's Marky Mark.
Yeah, it's
He
Marky
was a
Mark.
bunch of doing a train space missions with his favorite chimp coworker, Perseus. But there's a storm going on, so they send Perseus out there. He goes missing, so Leo goes behind him, and somehow leads to a time storm, and he eventually jumps to like thousands of years later.
Which they
And
still said it's 2000.
even though it's supposed to be 5,000.
Yeah, not yet.
But yeah, he crashes on a planet called Ashlar. Now, one thing I do like is they're nowhere near Earth. This isn't Earth.
Mm-hmm.
But when he's there, and now the other thing that one of the first problems I have with this movie is the status of humanity is questionable.
Yes, please. I was just
Some
ranting to my
speak,
sister about this.
some don't speak. Some are pets, some are slaves, some are experimenters. It's like you can't have all of them at once
Exactly the whole point of the first movie of why
unless you
freaking
were in the city where you were able to keep your intelligence. They devolved into
exactly the reason why the original the how he was so different from everybody else was because he had intelligence. He could speak. He had something similar to a soul that they couldn't find in the others. But for this one, he can literally do the same as everybody else. So what's different about him? He's different.
nothing.
How?
And then the other thing is, we don't know. There's some humans that are mute.
Sometimes I feel like it's by choice because they were telling him, "Hey, don't speak, don't speak."
Yeah, but I think then there are others we do see who aren't. Oh, and by the way, Linda Harrison, Nova, she actually was one of the women in the cart.
Oh my gosh.
And Charlton Heston has a cameo as Sade's father.
Who's that again? Oh, okay. I
General,
got
now
it. I got it.
Sade, I like Sade.
Thade is amazing. He
Tim
literally
Ross,
embodies an actual chimpanzee.
Tim Ross, who is that's one thing I love about this movie, the movements
Yes.
that they nailed.
I was so happy about
Now,
that.
now that you look back again, do you still have the same issues with the makeup, or will you admit that actually it does have just as much, if not better, facial movements as the first?
The Tim Burton's face stuff, whatever, it's definitely superior to the 1968 due to the point that they have a lot of better effects and stuff. The only thing that was the problem
Helena
was
Bonham
that
Carter's
the what?
Helena Bonham Carter as Ari.
What?
I was joking. You once said you didn't like the girl a chimp.
I didn't like a chimp.
When we first talked about the first one, you did not like Helena Bonham Carter's character of Ari, the female chimp, because of the kiss. And
Yes. Oh, that's right.
that was the example you would use of you didn't like the makeup back then.
Probably. Um,
But now you're taking that back now, right?
Only for the males. The females look whack.
True, but really, Ari was the only female we really saw
No,
regularly.
no, no. There was a lot of female chimps
Oh
in this
yeah,
movie, and they all looked the exact same. Their faces were freaking pale white, and I'm like, why do you
sure.
not look like the male counterparts?
Yeah,
Don't try to differentiate.
I don't think we didn't. We never saw any female gorillas.
No, there was no female gorillas, and I'm
There
like,
was a
yo, where
female
is the female
orangutan, maybe
gorillas?
like one of them only.
Oh, and I'm like, bro, you missed so much, bro. Tim Burton.
But I do think though, Helena Bonham Carter wasn't bad as Ari. Wasn't great, but wasn't bad.
No, but like this guy got two female love interests.
Yeah,
What
except
the
that actually the studio put their foot down and said, "Don't be doing that."
Wait, they're not supposed to. That's
They're
not what
not.
they. Bro, I would have never have got like it hinted at it so much in
Oh,
the movie.
what did you think about Paul Giamatti as the orangutan? I loved him.
He was a blast.
He was hilarious.
Uh, but he was mostly useless. Seems like he was only there for funny commentary, really,
Mhm,
and for the slave part in the beginning.
right. Um, then of course, I like the gorillas in this. They actually felt more noble.
Yeah, and very scary.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, then you had Michael Clark Duncan as Colonel Attar,
Michael Clark Duncan.
Kingpin from Daredevil.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Also, he was in The Green Mile.
I didn't see that one, but I know which one you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, but like I said, but basically they're there. It's similar. It plays out loosely similar to the first one. Only here, because the humans are smart, they're able to escape and head over to what ends up being the crash version of the Oberon.
I hated that they took so much from the first movie. I was like, you should have just made something completely separate
Yep. Now,
altogether.
like I said, Thade's father, Zayas, who actually is Zayas, that was played by Charlton Heston. That's the reason why you're like, damn them all to hell.
I didn't even get. I remember that. I'm like, oh, another reference, but I didn't know it was because he was literally the dad.
Yep, but believe it or not, Tim Ross had a hard time working with Heston because Ross is very anti-gun, and Heston was the head of the NRA.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling he was
At
really
the
into
same time,
guns
it's
from
like,
the first movie.
but at the same time, it's also like, wait, you're having problems working with him, but the whole part of the subplot is him Thade using guns.
Literally.
But they eventually make their way into the Oberon. It leads into a big fight, which now that was a great fight, though. I will give it props, right? That was a good fight. You know,
It's a cool fight.
you have some girls on horses, but you have the others doing you know,
Yeah. What's his name? Thade? He
Thade.
just loves jumping on random
He's a
walls
chimp.
just to jump in his horse.
He's a chimp.
He's extra.
Yeah, yeah, he jumps around, and now eventually, then and Perseus shows up. Turns out they got there. He came there a little ahead, and turns out Marky Mark got there first. Perseus got there later, and they're like, "Oh, it's our great, it's the great one." But then eventually leads to Thade getting apprehended, and then Marky Mark decides I'm going to use the ship to go back in time and make sure none of this ever happened, and leads to one of the dumbest endings of all. What happened?
I'm kind of confused on what happened.
He
It's like
crashes in Washington and finds the Lincoln Monument, but now it's a monument to General Thade.
which
And,
I'm like, I don't understand because like he
oh,
shouldn't
I know why.
be.
You want to know what it was? Tim
Please tell
Burton.
me.
Tim Burton had issues with the movie, so he wanted to give one big F you.
Ah,
Now, Helena Bonham Carter, here's how she theorized what happened. We already know that Leo's ship is still there on the planet, and it got there
mhm.
first. So she believes that Thade had it dug up and got out, had it the ship raised out from the water, and then he used it and ended up had to beat him to the punch.
Okay. I don't see how he would have gotten out because that thing's out of power anyway.
Right. But and who knows? Who knows? But that's
But
all.
like you said, it was a big FU. So
It was, and basically Tim's like, well, if anyone's going to do, I'm not going to do another sequel. If someone's going to do, here's what they have to deal with.
yeah, you can't. It's so funny because I was actually going to be interested in what they do because I'm literally seeing chimpanzees
Oh yeah,
wear
but to be fair,
clothes.
believe it or not, this actually ties to the original ending of the original Planet of the Apes book.
Exactly.
Oh, you knew no, because yeah, in that one, Taylor and well, let's just say Taylor and Nova would have gone on the ship, would have came back to Earth, but turns out a similar thing had transpired. But in the original one, in the original book, it wasn't Earth they were on. It was another planet.
Just like in this one, which I was so confused because I was like, is this still Earth, but many
No, it's
years
not.
into the
It wasn't Earth.
future? It wasn't explained well to me
It
in this
wasn't. It
movie.
really wasn't. Oh, and
Like
of course you have the kiss.
he kissed both girls, bro.
Mm,
Disgusting. And they had no development at
none,
all. I
none,
wanted that little boy to die.
none whatsoever. And that's why I still say, I still feel that at least the kiss between Taylor and Zero was more of a case of a fair,
Thank
goodbye kiss
you.
for
And
all you've
yeah,
done for me. It wasn't romantic. It was just a case of I want to kiss you goodbye.
it was still gross. You could have kissed on the forehead. But in
Okay.
this one, like it felt romantic on both accounts to me. And that's where it's just like, ew.
Oh, by
I
it
didn't
was
even
all I chose to point out after this movie,
my favorite character died.
a character. I said in
Yes.
this movie,
The Tim Burton one, yeah?
in the Tim Burton one, this was
My
the
favorite character died.
who was your favorite character?
The gorilla.
Oh, you mean the butler?
Yeah, he was a former general, Robert. Put some
Yes,
respect on his name.
General Kroll.
Oh, I didn't think he was gonna die.
It made sense
Oh.
though.
He
Oh,
the
by
other
the
guy
way,
was younger.
the guy who played that guy and that gorilla, that was Shang Tsung from the Mortal Kombat movies.
What?
Same guy.
Does wait, I don't remember. Does Shang Tsung have a white in his beard, by the way?
Uh, only in the 11th game.
Okay, because he had like some
Yeah, no,
white in his beard and I couldn't
no.
tell.
In the original Mortal Kombat movie, he was clean shaven.
Hmm.
It has begun.
Oh,
But
memories.
yeah, but this again, it was an experiment. That's how I like to look at it. It was a nice experiment. One and done. Say no more. It was never going to start at all another franchise.
Thank goodness.
It
Not only that, but in the
it
very
worked.
ending, when they trapped Thade, you
Yeah,
have the gorilla right next to him, and Marky Mark is like literally
like
explaining, he's
I know
like,
we used to live here together, and my friend.
"Oh, you did that so well." And then the gorilla is like, "Everything I knew was a lie," and I'm like, "But you have no proof. You don't have to believe the
Well,
human."
they just saw their Messiah interacting good with the human.
Yeah, but Marky Mark literally said that the Messiah was the one that killed everybody,
No, no,
and I'm
no,
like,
he didn't. No, not him. His son did.
but they didn't
Remember?
explain that.
Oh no, you're right about that. But that never came up though. He was trying to make it clear when he left, they were on good terms.
Yeah, which made me super confused. That poor chimpanzee. He got hurt. He's just a baby.
And then he's left on there.
I don't know how I felt about that. I'm like, well, you won't be experimented by the people, but will you really be happy here? I don't know.
But then he's going to be undone from time when if Marky Mark had gone back and fixed anything.
Uh,
But okay, but overall, I would give this a 5.
Same.
It's the second worst of everything we've seen so far, but not the worst.
Yeah, definitely not the worst. So many great things. I'm so happy they added the chimpanzees to the military because chimpanzees are freaking crazy, man. You don't
Yeah,
mess with chimpanzees in real life.
exactly. Well, that's all we've got on here. Thank you all for this marathon. And if we ever do the reboot prequel trilogy, we'll let you all know.
That's right. Did you hear the announcement?
What?
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Hold on. What the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
2024.
And it's a continuation of the reboot?
Yes.
Ha! Well, we know Reeves isn't involved though.
I heard it's the same people who actually did the writing from the first 3 movies.
Oh, he wrote on it too, so
That was the thing in my group chat. They're like, okay, so the people who are working with Matt, they're gonna be in it, and I'm like, yeah, but is Matt Reeves gonna be in it? That matters too, guys.
yeah.
But it's still in the. It was just announced, so we're waiting.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that whenever we get to the get to the prequel of it. Oh, this was the guy who co-wrote the first movie. No, actually, no, he did co-write all of them.
Yay!
So yeah, he's involved with the new one.
Nice.
All right. So
That's
yeah,
half a good news.
so thank you all, and again, if we ever get to that, whenever we get to it, we'll see you all then. Take care.
Bye.